because this was a thing that I've been wanting to talk about all week. So this past, I think it was Sunday or Monday, we saw Swerve Strickland post to his Instagram story a song that he had wrote and or recorded, and he caught a little bit of slack
A little bit.
because there was a lyric that came off as anti-black and or very colorist. He said had a chick, but she was black and ugly. Um, and I kind of wanted to know, as a black woman, how you felt about hearing this from someone who is easily the fastest rising star in AEW, if not all of pro wrestling.
Honestly, I was shocked and disgusted just because he prides himself as being a black man himself, and he has said before that he wants to be the first African American AEW champion. And it's just, he's not an idiot. He's on social media. He sees who his audience is. And I know that for a fact because I have seen him get into beats with Black Wrestling podcasts before for their lists. So it's kind of crazy how fast forward, you would think that with all this rise in attention and the bulk of his support really has came from Black wrestling fans. You know what I mean? Like, we've been supporting him since his debut on AEW. Before
Mm-hmm.
that, actually, if you've been watching his work in ROH and you've seen his work in NXT with Hit Row, but like, we've been supporting you the most. Black women love sport. My black mutuals on Twitter be thirsting over this man. Okay? And again, I'm sure he sees this because he's very active on social media, hence how he promotes his music. You know what I'm saying? And like, what he did and what he said in that clip, it's just mind boggling because that's like the type of stuff that people will search up in the bar when they're trying to expose you for something you said in your past. And he's just out here, out of all verses, out of all bars in his song that he could have used in the snippet, he goes ahead with something colorist and racial. And then there's so many layers to unpack here too, because you go back to his dating history and you don't really see too much color. If it
See, I
is,
didn't
it's
know
not a
that.
black
So
woman. Yeah, so it was just layers to how bad this was, and you had some people saying, well, it was just wordplay. And it's just like, he's very talented. He's a very talented artist. If he wanted to quit wrestling today, I do think with his connections and his talent, he could go ahead and attempt to just be a rapper and see where that goes. But it's just like, dude, you're in the middle of a fucking tournament. Everyone's rooting for you. I think he did that bullshit on a Monday. And then, the tournament's on Wednesday. It just looked it so bad. It was so bad because he went in with so much momentum. And this said something just so tone deaf. And it's like, you know better. You know better. And it's just crazy when I see a black man that came from a black woman spew these type of things because it's just like, what goes on in your head? Like, what went wrong in the chain of command that in this day and age, 2023, do you even want to entertain the idea of putting that together? Some people were saying, well, again, it's just wordplay. He could have interjected a different race and said white and ugly, Asian and ugly, whatever. And it's just like, again, why would you say that? It's just like, I don't know. I'm very much disgusted. It turned me off about wanting to deal with him, seeing him in with the belt. Me seeing him on camera, it's just very distasteful because I was looking to you to represent me, and this is how you view us. It just felt like a slap in the face. And surely enough, he lost in the tournament, as far as I know. Don't know if that was intentional or not, because it did. I don't know. It was very good timing, and even if it wasn't planned, sorry, if it was planned that he was supposed to lose, people were supposed to be upset. Our community was supposed to be upset and up in arms. But instead, I look through the timeline, everyone is like praising that he lost. Like, his stocks are all the way down doing this. It was stupid on a moral standpoint. It was stupid on a personal standpoint. It was stupid on a business standpoint. I'm just disgusted. I'm disgusted. I'm disappointed. Um, I don't know if anyone checked him. I really would love to know. Did any of his coworkers try to be like, "Hey, yo, like, I know you're doing your thing, but this is not okay.
Mm.
I can't even imagine being the other black fellow co-workers in AEW hearing that. Can you imagine crossing him in backstage after hearing that? Like, how you view me, bro? Like, wait, I thought we was on the same team. Guess not. Um, but I would love to hear your take, Jordan.
So, all right. Okay. Let me say this. From a wrestling fan standpoint, I still feel as if Isaiah Swerve Strickland is world heavyweight champion material. From a talent perspective, the man has it all. From a creative perspective, the man has it all. His presentation, his art, his demeanor, his move set, his matches this year have been top of the top without a
Mm,
debate. Um,
mm,
and I wanted to preface this whole monologue with that because I feel like it's very easy for you to attempt to hold somebody accountable and it's viewed as an attack and it's seen as kind of like a you're trying to come at somebody's talent or somebody's craft, and I'm not doing that. I am a black man. My mother is a black woman. My grandmother is a black woman. My aunt is a black woman. Um, my fiance is a black woman. My co-host is a black woman. I have black women as friends, black women as people that I consider sisters. I am the man that I am today because the black woman in my life molded me and shaped me and helped me become a more self aware, emotionally intelligent human being that is able to show empathy for others and be an effective and quality communicator. So, when you disrespect a black woman, I have a problem with that. And it's like, oh, he could have said white and ugly. He could have said Asian and ugly. You could have also said whack and ugly. Whack rhymes of black. I'm not even a rapper. I'm just a someone who passed my English region and I know that. So if I can figure that out, why can't you? Why is it necessary? Why is it necessary for you at the peak of your career currently? I'm not saying that this is the highest you'll ever get. Why do you feel it to be necessary to disrespect black women? And if we're being completely honest, right? We when I turned on Dynamite and I saw people were watching Swerve and doing Swerve's dance and doing the this and this. It's like it was majority people that were, and I get it, right? The majority of wrestling fans probably did not make a big scene out of it because the majority of wrestling fans aren't necessarily anti-colorism, not because they are morally, not up to par, but that's just something that either they haven't experienced, haven't been exposed to, or something that they were not conditioned to care about.
mm,
But I expect better from Swerve because you're a black man in America. And yes, I get it. Like your preference is your preference. Love who you love, be with who you want to be with. But your preference should not be rooted in your desire to disrespect black women or your desire to tear them down or your desire to make them a punchline of a song. I don't think that is right. And you may be like, well,
mm,
evolve, whatever, da 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 da. And that's all well and good. And maybe you see this and it's like, well, this kid is a nobody, this guy is a nobody. All right, that's great. Just remember, these white people see you as just another nigga too. And if you decide to step out of line, if you decide to step out of line, these white people are going to look at you the way that you look at black women. And that's the reason why you uplift your own people. Because at the end of the day, we are what we have. Like we are all that we have. and it's about the community and it's about the culture. And you can't be for black culture and disrespect black people. Come on now. And that could be a woman, that could be a man, that could be someone that's trans, that can be someone that's queer. You can't be pro black if you're not pro all black people.
Yeah,
So
what
if you're
is
gonna talk,
that? What
I
is
don't
it with
know.
like black people making the industry and for some reason they just kind of turn the cheek to their own people? Like what is
I
it with
mean, I
that?
don't know what it. I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna try to unpack that or like decrypt it. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like you can't. I can't sit up here and be pro something and then be against a certain section of that something. And it's like, yes, if you sit up here and you're calling somebody ugly and associating blackness with ugliness, or associating blackness with uncivility, or associating blackness with undesirability, that is a form of anti-black speech, and that is colorist or racist. But I just felt like it was just a very, very disrespectful, classless, disgusting move. And I also feel like that just wasn't it. Like like you
No.
said, Mo, Swerve is a talented rapper. There's so many other things he could have said but that. And I think it's just super unfortunate that that was the path that he decided to choose. And that I
You
don't
think
think that
Tony's gonna
he I was about to say, I don't think that like the his freestyle has anything to do with him losing the Continental Classic, because I feel like if this is for a Continental Championship, this is going to be another belt that's not the World Heavyweight title, and I think the plan is for him to be the World Champion. And if the plan is to be the World Champion, it doesn't make sense for him to go after a title that is not that World Heavyweight Championship. So I don't think that it's because of that, but yeah, I
But you think that Tony Khan is probably gonna punish him in some shape, way, or form for this, or he's gonna mind his business?
no,
Because
no, no,
no,
absolutely not,
really, some
absolutely
people
not.
got
I don't.
sensitivity classes, so I'm
I
just saying.
mean, yes, but at the same time, I just don't think, like, we haven't heard anything yet. And I think if it were a matter of that, we would have heard something. Because to be honest, with the whole sensitivity classes, because I remember we talked, that was like what, Sammy Guevara, and he was talking about rape. And so I think
I
that
think
rape, sexual
did
assault,
Eddie get it
sexual
too?
abuse.
Yeah,
Who?
yeah. I thought Eddie
Yeah,
had
he.
sensitivity class or anger management classes. It was one
I
or the
think
other. Whatever.
maybe I think
Mm,
Eddie had like an anger man. I don't know. And
go
Sammy
ahead.
had the whole talking about sexual assault and rape and sexual abuse. And I
Yeah,
think it was specifically talking about his comments about Mercedes Monet. Um, but I don't think that he's gonna get. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I just wouldn't be surprised if he didn't get punished. Is all that I'm saying. But
yeah, yeah.
it is what it is. But I want to know how everybody else feels. Did everyone else see or hear these colorist lyrics from Swerve? Let us know in the comments below and how you feel about it. But we're gonna be moving on